You are now tuned into Minimal Podcast, Trading Materials for Peace of Mind, hosted by me, Joseph Cooper, and this is the Patience is a Virtue episode. So today we are going to be talking about patience is a virtue, how that affects our lives, how that is the correct path to go on, but most importantly, I want to talk about the opposite of patience. So if patience is a virtue, then what is the opposite? So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I was recently thinking about what is one of the stories that we learned as a kid growing up, especially one of the very first stories. And one of the stories I remember growing up is, of course, The Tortoise and the Hare. And the story about the tortoise and the hare, of course, is that the tortoise and the hare are in a race, and the hare is much faster than the tortoise. So because the hare is so much faster than the tortoise, it starts to antagonize the tortoise, starts to play around, play games, take it easy, not really take the tortoise seriously. So their focus wasn't on winning the race. It was more on trying to embarrass their opponent, making light of the situation. Well, in the end, ultimately, and the tortoise, on the other hand, it's just going on about its merry way. It's not distracted. It's focused on the finish line and trying to get from A to B. And so because the tortoise is focused and the hare is not, well, we all know what happens at the end. The hare ultimately loses the race because their eyes weren't on the prize. And so, which really thinks, well, I should say, it really kind of makes me think of how that story relates to just life in general, especially with we live in such a fast-paced world, and that we're almost conditioned or groomed to do everything very quickly, do it as fast as you can, which goes against what we were taught as kids, is to take it slow, take it steady, and that we're going to get to where we need to get to as long as we keep that steady pace and we don't get distracted by outside interference. So with that being said, we, like I said, we live in this fast-paced world where everything's going 100 miles per hour. Technology is so far advanced in 2024. Just everything in life just seems to move so fast. And, even time, we always say time flies. Well, time goes very fast as well. And so it kind of made me sit down and really think about patience. Because, you hear the phrase, it's probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of years old, that patience is a virtue. So the person that is steadfast and they wait and they don't try to rush things, those are the people that usually have better circumstances, or even better luck, if you will. Or maybe luck is not even a good word. Maybe it's just a better understanding of just life in general, and not an understanding that we don't have to go 100 miles per hour because that's what the world is telling us to do. That's what the world is pushing on us, is to do everything fast and move fast. And I was thinking about when someone or something tries to rush someone, or tries to make someone hurry up and do something, whether it's coming up with a decision or whatever it may be. When someone is rushing us, it's for their benefit and not ours. I'm going to say that again. When someone is rushing us, it's for their benefit and not ours, because, we benefit from time. We benefit from using our brains and, having a thought process and, researching things before we do something. And if there's an outside force trying to stop us from thinking, stop us from analyzing, and trying to enforce us to make a decision or hurry up and rush us, like I said, it's never going to be for our benefit. It's always going to be for the benefit of the person that's doing the rushing. So I think we also need to understand that, when we make decisions in life, sometimes they need to be thought out. And I think that the world has put a negative connotation on the people that want to think about things, that want to take their time on things. It's almost like people that take their time on things are almost laughed at or, criticized because they took time to make a decision. When I think that the people that do take their time to make decisions and, they do plan things out, those are the people that are better off in life. And the people that are living the high life or the fast life or living at high speed, those are the people that tend to run into a lot of situations and issues that, they may not want to be in. So what I'm trying to say is that there's no advantage of living a very fast-paced life. You hear, because, the fast life, it is really equivalent to a fast death, and not necessarily death as in, being deceased, but death as in, maybe the death of someone's dreams, the death of whatever their goals were. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's the death of goals, the death of dreams, just because they were living such a fast-paced life. Because the fast-paced life, to me, that is more of the world, and it goes against better judgment. It goes against our thinking. It goes against the way we are wired and programmed. Because as humans, we have brains, and we use our brain is the central processing unit of our body. It's our computer, if you will. It's what makes decisions. It plans things. It's the core piece of our body. It's our mind. So, anytime someone tries to distract us from using our brain and our mind, like I said, it's always going to be for their benefit, and it's never going to benefit us. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to live in a life where we just need to slow down. Because the world is moving fast, probably faster than it ever has. So we need to take a break and slow down and really see what's going on out here, and not to be influenced by what others are doing, especially if someone is living a very fast-paced life, because that fast-paced life, it may look like it's working for them, from the outside, but I can tell you that it's definitely not working in the long run. Because going back to the tortoise and the hare, or the rabbit and the turtle, it's really just understanding that if we're going to make it where we need to be, wherever that is, and our finish line is going to be different from another person's finish line, but the objective is to make that finish line at the correct pace, and doing it the correct way. There's no shortcuts on the road to life. We tend to think that people got some type of shortcut or cheat code, and that we're going to try to hurry up the process, but that process, the process is beautiful. Doing things the right way is beautiful. Working on God's timing is extremely beautiful. Living God's plan is what's beautiful. And this high life, this living high speed, it's never going to get us anywhere. And it kind of made me think about the reason why speeding is illegal. Speeding in your car, or traffic violations, traffic tickets. And the reason why it's illegal is we have cars today that go, 120, 140, 160 miles per hour. These cars are built that way, today, to go at an extremely high speed. But it's illegal to go those speeds. So what is the reason why it's illegal to speeding? Is it because police officers don't want us to reach our destination at a slower time? No, that's not the reason. The reason why speeding is illegal is because the faster you go in a car, something gets reduced. And what gets reduced is reaction time. What gets reduced is response time. So if your reaction time or your response time is reduced, that could be deadly. That can be deadly for the driver that's going at a high speed, and that can be deadly for the other drivers that are on the road is because a person's response time has been decreased. So that's why it's illegal. So to speed, it's not because they don't want us to reach our destination in a fast amount of time. It's because they want to make sure everyone gets there safe, including the driver and also the other drivers on the road. So, because what's really illegal is not the speeding. What's illegal is the reduction of response time. It's the reduction reaction time. So think about that. So if patience is a virtue, then the opposite of patience is deadly. It's very costly, extremely costly. So if a person doesn't have patience, it can lead to serious harm, and it can also lead to death. Now, I talked about death of goals and dreams, but it could also lead to actual death, being deceased. And so that's what's illegal. So, if it's against the law to reduce a person's reaction time, to reduce a person's response time. So if it's illegal to do that, then why would we ever want someone to rush us into anything? Rush us into any decision, rush us into any circumstance, because why is someone trying to reduce my response time? Why is someone trying to take away my ability to think about something? Whether I have to think about something for one day or whether I have to think about it for 1 month, why is someone or something trying to reduce my response time? Why does someone want to take away my thought process? And the only reason why someone would want to do that is because in some shape or form, it's going to benefit that other person. So so we need to make sure that we hold on to our thinking, our analytical skills, using our brain. We need to understand that we need to keep all of those things intact with us, because once we lose them, it can be extremely costly. That's what the opposite of patience is. It's extremely costly, and it can be very deadly. So I think that we need to understand that we need to keep, like I said, our thought process, but also understand the tortoise and the hare story, and always apply that, to everything that we do in life. Because, like I said, there's no shortcuts out here. Well, regardless of what you see on TV, regardless of what you see on the internet, social media, there are no shortcuts. And if you think someone is doing shortcuts, trust me, it's going to catch up to them. Cheating is always going to catch up to a person. It always is. You cannot cheat life. You can't. When they say cheaters never win, that's definitely true. It may look like they're winning today, but trust me, they're going to lose in the long run, because that's what cheating leads to. There's no, like I said, there's no shortcuts. There's no magic wand that someone can wave and get you to where you need to be, in the blink of an eye. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. Even when it looks like it has worked that way for someone, trust me, it hasn't. Everything catches up to everyone in the end. So even if that hare is going 100 miles an hour, trust me, that tortoise is going to catch it. Trust me. It's imperative that we do everything organically and doing things the right way, and using our thought process and being faithful and prayerful, and we go by faith and not by sight. So just understanding these things from the Bible and applying them to our daily lives, because that's what's going to be really important. That's how we're going to make it in this world. Like I said, is going at the correct speed, doing it the correct way, and most importantly, being on God's timing and understanding that God's plan, we may not understand it today, but one day we will understand it, and it's going to be much better than what we had envisioned. It's going to be much better than what we had planned. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and I'll end this podcast. But like I said, please take what I've said to heart. Like I said, use your brain. In any situation that you do, please think about any and every situation that you do, because your decisions is really what separates one person from the other. We're all humans, but some of the things that we do in our lives, some of the good things that have happened is because we have made good decisions that were planned out, that we used, we took our time. And some of the bad stuff that we probably gotten into is because we made poor decisions or we didn't think at all. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and end it. So thank you for listening to this episode. Of course, there's always going to be more episodes in the future. So, thank you. God bless and good night. Thank you for lending your ears. If you enjoy what you're hearing, please subscribe and tell your friends about this podcast. You can also show your support by purchasing a hoodie at minimalbranded.com. I am running a discount code for this holiday season, and that discount code is winter23, and that is winter in all capital letters. That will get you a 20% off your total purchase at minimalbranded.com. So please show some support, show some love at minimalbranded.com. In previous episodes, I have failed to mention that I do have an Instagram. My Instagram is minimal.branded. Please follow me. That's where I put updates about new podcast episodes, and I also put up new merchandise that is at minimalbranded.com. So thank you, God bless, and good night.